Anyway, this is Sharyn and Hank Yuloff from the United States, and we met when I first started podcasting, and they came on the Talking with the Experts. And yeah, we've kept in touch ever since, and they're an amazing couple of marketers. They're award winners, and you know, they're very, very well known in America for their marketing. So take it away, Sharyn and Hank.
Okay, let's do let's do a more official intro. Let's see. We're a husband and wife team. We have worked together for 12 years, been married 31, been together a little longer than that. I started the company we're going in year 26, and it was fun, except every day we had that "how is your day, dear?" conversation.
We did.
And one of my clients needed some HR help, and I said, well, why don't you, I'm handling their marketing, why don't you come and deal with the HR part?
Human resources, in case for those that don't know what HR is.
Sorry. And at the end of that contract, it just seemed best that she doesn't go back to a job, and we just continue to work together. And I don't know about y'all, but getting to hang out with your best friend all day is an awesome thing. So we're small business coaches. You'd hear a lot of business coaches say that we work with small to medium size. Now we're looking for that solopreneur up to about 20 or 30 employees. We're the marketing department down the hall. The HR, the human resources department down the hall. I don't know how to deal with my social media down the hall, or does my website suck, or all sorts of. We're the coaches. We're the ones that they call for. They're really good at what they do, but they hate that. God, I got to go generate revenue part of it.
Can't I just show up and do it?
Yeah, can I just show up and do it? So we help them just show up and do it.
Our clients call us their easy button.
Anyway, we're going to be talking about the most effective ways to get your marketing ready for 2023, which is really interesting because, we're only like 2 months away from the end of the year.
And you're even less farther away because you're like in tomorrow already.
Yes.
The jokes don't get better than that. Sorry, folks. It's we're prepping our clients. We have to talk about the R word for the first time in a long time. And we're seeing there's a possible recession. And what I hear some people say is, we refuse to participate. Well, that's like sticking your head in the sand. You have to be ready for an economic change in the weather. And
your clients are participating.
Yeah, they definitely are. See, when COVID hit, we had a rapid acceleration of a lot of trends that were happening. People working from home, for example, that trend had been going up, but it was very much sped up. And some of the other things that happen, there's usually a couple of questions that your prospects ask before they write you a check. It's like, why you? Why not somebody else? What makes you special? What's in it for them? And there was always a fourth, another question, another part of it. It was do I really need to buy it all? And during COVID, we saw that a lot. Now, in the best example I can give you, people all of a sudden weren't going out to restaurants because they couldn't, and they were a little afraid to order in because people would bring it. So this little chain in America called Domino's Pizza invented this thing called contactless delivery. So all of a sudden they were able to answer that question. So when we've got that recession possible, this is a great time to start from the beginning. When we ask somebody who's your target market, Yeah.
Most of the time we get everybody or anybody. And the challenge is if you're messaging to everybody or anybody, nobody feels like you're actually talking to them. So you don't need to find one niche. You just need to know that this message is targeted at this type of customer, client, prospect. And what is that messaging that's going to attract them? You may have a different message for a different audience. But if you're trying to capture everybody with one message, nobody will feel like you're talking to them.
So this is a really good time. Take a look at your audience. Who, your favorite, we phrase it, your favorite people to play with. Who are the ones that, wow, I would love to have more of those. And let's see, what do they have in common? Let's look demographically first. Look at some of the major demographics, age, sex, income, education, where they are geographically. There's a whole lot of demographics that can apply to your clients. And usually it's 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 for a particular, we call them Harriets. Marketers call them avatars, which I hate the word, but so we call her Harriet.
And we recommend that you do the same thing. Figure out what's that person, right? So you think about, okay, who's my favorite client? What's that client's name? And name that, so that then when you're crafting that message to them, you have their picture actually up in front of you and you're crafting that message for them.
And then there's the next step. There, in addition to demographics, there's another thing called psychographics. What's going on between their ears? Another way of phrasing it, they're going to look at you before they write you a check and say, what's in it for me? And that might have changed a little bit, but you have to look at what is in it for them. Why are they coming to you? And here's another way of looking at it. Human beings, we will run away from pain faster than we'll run toward pleasure. So what pain are you taking away? In other words, they don't necessarily want to take vitamins. They want an aspirin to get rid of their headache. So what headache are you taking away from them?
And you're probably not the only one in the world that could take away their headache. So the other part of that is, well, why are they going to come to you? Why you? What is that emotional trigger that you can trigger to get them to, oh, I need to work with her or him versus Jane Doe next door that claims to provide the same product or service.
Yeah. For example, a lot of our coaching clients, they come to us because they like the fact that it's a 2-for-1 deal. We charge as if we were one coach, but there's 2 of us, and we can get double done for them. So that for us, it's a good benefit for us because we get to work together, and it's a good benefit for them because they get 2 heads because 2 are better than 1. So so when you've got your audience, you should also look at, and I hate to say it this way, are there parts of your audience that are a drag? You tell them what you're doing, they say, well, what's my price? And then they pay late. So that there's a good percentage of some of our clients that we all have that, it's okay to let them go. And then the time you take investing in them, you invest in your clients to help them, teach them how to get you more referrals. Because that word of mouth, that word of marketing, it's always the best. The challenge is in a recession time, we have to speed up that process. We have to very much dig into asking clients and figuring out, okay, how am I going to ask for referrals? And it varies by different businesses. And Rose, I know you've got a lot of people on. Later on, we'll give people away. They can get some free time with us, and we'll get more specific for them if they'd like it. And one of the other ways, you're going to have to market your business. And in order to do that, you're going to have to make time for it. So let's talk about calendaring their marketing a little.
Yes, by all means. You do need to block it out in your calendar for sure.
Sharyn's better at that than I am.
It won't get done. A to-do list is
Yeah.
great, but if you don't actually block it into your calendar, it just keeps getting pushed to, tomorrow, and then it never happens.
And part of the time it's okay, I have an hour today. Then there's, what's the principle called? The slight edge, where the one thing, or what's the one
What's
thing?
the one? That's, yeah. What's the one thing? If you were going to lose power in an hour, what's the one thing you absolutely positively must get done today?
And we find a lot of small business owners have that, a little bit of panic. Okay, where do I start? So, okay, you're going to pick one thing. What's the one thing? We have a client right now. The stock market in the US is doing weird things. It's going up and down a lot. And she's a financial planner, and she's having to market herself a lot more than she has. And she's feeling the panic, but some of it's a little bit of, there's a little bit of self-worth. When the market go down, she feels like it's her fault. It's like, oh, okay, wait. So we've had a whole lot of mindset.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had a lot of mindset conversations.
Expanding her comfort zone.
So remember, if we're in a recession, it's not your fault. So it's best for you to take that deep breath, and know that you're really good at what you do, and find that one thing. So going into 2023, make that plan, block out the time, look at an audience. This is a wonderful time to I don't want to use the word cold call, because most people say, oh dear God, that's not me. This is a good time to sharpen all of the things that you're doing to make people want to raise their hand to say, hey, wait a minute, that's interesting. Because marketing is not sales. Marketing is the skill of getting someone to raise their hand and say, I see what you're doing. Can I ask a couple of questions? So that then they're opening the door for you to have that conversation. And frankly, most of us aren't doing enough of that. We go on social media for that once a week post. If you're on social media,
yeah, that's not enough.
We would say every day is better. If you're on Facebook, especially once a day. If you're posting once a week on Instagram, that's not, or excuse me, on LinkedIn, that's great. But LinkedIn's own statistics say that if you post twice a week, you have 5 or 6 more times
audience
and interaction than if somebody's posting once. So the incremental differences of increasing what you're doing. And when it comes to social media, this is a wonderful time to look at the stats that all of the platforms put out. Is your audience really playing there? We had a Pinterest person say, you really should be on Pinterest more often. Now, I'm sorry, people aren't on Pinterest looking for small business coaches. That's just not where our audience is. So we have a presence, but we spend way more time on LinkedIn and Facebook and Alignable, and we're going where our Harriets are playing.
Not only where they're active, but where are they actively looking for someone like us? So our audience might be on Pinterest, but they're not on Pinterest looking for a business coach. They're on Pinterest to look for recipes or design their home, or right. They're not looking for a business coach. So there's twofold, right? Where are they, and where are they looking for you?
Hey, can I go really deep on one point?
Do we have time?
Do we have time?
You absolutely do. Yes. My next guest is not due till 1:45, but if she doesn't turn up, then you've got the floor till 11.
Okay, cool. Wow. We'll start pulling out, slide shows. I want to tell you something. Give you a story of what we did. We were running some Google ads, and when you're running Google ads, one of the things you need to do is go back and look at all the statistics that Google gives you. We kind of knew, because we're kind of decent at this, how to create our ads for the audience we were looking for in particular. There were 2 of our different audiences that we were targeting. But interestingly, by looking at the stats that Google gives you, we found an entire audience that we had no idea was paying attention to us. Age-wise, it was very different on the spectrum. Gender, very different on the spectrum. And it's something that we're going to have to target and take a look at.
We don't have to, but
we want to. Yeah, we want to. I want to, because it's like, wait a minute, if there's an audience out there, because Google gives you these boxes. They show it in boxes, and the darker the box, the more people in those demographics. And there was a dark box in a corner that we've never seen. So look at the stats when you run ads. Don't just say, okay, it got me X amount of calls, so I'll do it again or do it not. Look at those stats. And if somebody's helping you with the ads, go through it with them. Because you find out information about an audience you didn't know was looking for you, and that's always fun. Let's see, we moved from Los Angeles to Sedona, Arizona, and now we moved to Maryland. But when we were moved from LA to Sedona, we decided it was a really good time to speed up some of the changes we were making in our business. We own a promotional product company, but that was becoming less important because us working together and coaching was way more important. So we were leveraging and changing how we did it. So we did a name change. And a year after that, we went and we're looking at the stats, and it turned out the name we picked was the wrong one because people were searching for our name, Yuloff Creative, instead of the name we picked. So for the second time in 15 months, we rebranded completely.
We don't recommend that.
No,
it is doable, but we don't recommend it.
Yeah, it's expensive.
That's not one of the recommendations for 2023.
Please don't. Not a really good thing. The point was that we were looking at all of the analytics, and this may be a very good time for you to look. If your website's built in WordPress, it helps a lot. You go into the back and look at the analytics to see who's looking at your website and how long they're spending on different pages of your website. It's a good time if you're like us and you have several different URLs that you use that point to different pages in your website. We can track those and see how they work. We do a small business breakthrough bootcamp a couple times a year, and we have 2 different landing pages specifically to be able to gauge which messages are working, better than others. We just started running some radio ads in a new area because we're here in Maryland now. There was a radio station just offering a ridiculously affordable like a $1 something an ad. So I said, okay, we've never done radio, so we're going to try it. And we
test
it. Gosh darn it. I'm going to write down the word test, not try. I need a sign right over there. We're using a different URL to see how people, how they find us and if they sign up for free time with us. So we're going to be able to test how that works. When you're going into a downturn, testing what you're doing and looking at the results is really important. And any particular tactic that you've been using, it may stop working for a while. It may be time to add on some different things that you're doing. We still love direct mail. Interestingly, we don't see a whole lot of coaches promoting that. We see them all promoting just social media because it's really easy. But direct mail, if you're in the US especially, you have a postal person stopping at every one of your prospects' mailbox every day. And if you're doing your direct mail the right way, it's even better than them hoping they find it in their spam box.
For sure.
So there's some other tips. Okay, now how are we doing?
Keep going.
What else would you like to talk about?
Oh, I don't know. Let's talk about your website. Where can people find you, you lovely people, so that they can work with you? I've put your website link in the chat, but yeah, where else can they find you other than your website?
We're on every social media. You can find us at Yuloff Creative. And by the way, if you're going on social media, as much as you can have the same name on every platform, really important.
Consistency is key.
Yeah.
You don't want to confuse those prospects.
If you'd like some time with us, go to howtogettherefaster.com and you can book 30 minutes with us. That's the easiest way. We can take any of the things we said here, we can get more specific for your business.
And if you need help crafting that demographics, we do have a demographic chart that we use with our clients. So just ask us for it when you sign up at howtogettherefaster.com.
Yep. In fact, let's do this. When you sign up there, let's have some more fun. We've written 7 different best-selling books on Amazon. Should we just do this for the live audience, or do you want to let it for the recordings? What do you think, Rose? Should we do live, or okay, we'll do it anyway. If you want any of our books, go to Amazon, look at the book you want, find our last name, YULOFF, pick the book you want, send us an email, info@Yuloff Creative. You have to mention Rose. If you don't mention Rose Davidson, you don't get it. We'll send you back to Amazon. You got to buy it. But if you mention Rose, we'll send you not 1 but 2 of any of the books you want. We'll send those off to you.
PDF.
But you have to mention Rose, because if you don't,
so that's your keyword. Your keyword is Rose.
Yeah, Rose sent us, or Ms. Davidson. If you want to be
formal.
Oh God, that's boring.
We're gonna get on that cruise ship in New Zealand. You ought to come with us. It would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be so nice. I'd love that. Yes. Never mind. You've got to come on the podcast again.
Anytime.
Yeah, all right. I'll send you I'll
you
send you an email.
you asked. We'll pick any time. And now that we're 3 hours later, we can probably get closer to a better time for both of us.
Yeah, it was ridiculous before.
It was hard, yeah.
So yeah, we'd love to. Can't wait.
Tell me a little bit more about what sort of services does Yuloff Creative Marketing provide to people? Not just what you've said, but I know you have a whole suite of services that you offer.
Our areas of expertise are marketing, sales, human resources, and office systems. Really anything that has to do with running your small business that's not digging into your finances and not looking at your legal issues and documents. Anything else?
Yeah,
we're there.
It's fun. We had a client ask us, or a potential client ask us, and we put together all of the different things we've done for people, and it's like 11 pages long of stuff.
Not every client needs all things on that list, and it's possible that you might need something that's not on the list, but it does give folks a good idea of what our areas of expertise are.
We've designed logos for clients. We've done their created their social media pages, YouTube channels. We have them come on our podcast. In fact, our podcast has changed, and you should come on it because it's really cool. Here's how it works. It's called the Marketing Checklist Viewcast. Everyone gets the same questions, and it's 7 minutes, 21 seconds long because our anniversary is July 21st. Now, I will tell you, one of us is a little chatty on the podcast, so sometimes they go a little long.
One of us might be Hank.
One of us is a little chatty.
Where's that bus pass?
Yeah. And it's a way of showing off. It's designed so that you can take the video and send it to your prospects and say, hey, I was interviewed on this show, and it makes you look really good, and it talks about what you do and how come you're so awesome. So if y'all want to come on that, you can. If you mention Rose, once again, send us the email, info@Yuloff Creative. I will say I want to be on your podcast. If you mention Rose, you get to come on. Otherwise, we're a little pickier. But if you mention Rose, that's your
ticket.
It's your ticket. It's that simple.
For
Oh,
sure.
you two were so generous. I mean, I remember the last time when you were on the podcast, you gave away this training course. It was like amazing.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that this time.
We just
Yay!
we just finished finished it in September. The next one's not until March.
Yeah, that's
a long way away.
Yeah.
It's not that long, really. It's only 6 months or something.
Yeah, but in making people put it on their calendar, it's hard.
Yeah, we won't.
They don't know what they're doing next week, let alone March.
No kidding.
No, yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
We're trying to. We might do one in December, and it's for our clients, and then we'd invite a few non-clients in. We're
not sure yet.
We're looking at our own plan for 2023 to see what we're doing. It's bizarre. You know what? Did you know that when you move 2,400 miles, you can't just do some of the things you were doing? We can't just pop into Los Angeles on a whim and do 3 speaking gigs in LA over 2 days.
No.
So things have changed.
Yeah.
We're, in fact, look, we just booked it. We've been here 2 months. We've already met the governor of Maryland, the lieutenant governor of Maryland, and we booked our first 3 live gigs in Maryland. So we're just like a lot of the people listening. We're building our business, and so we're always out there marketing. That's the fun part. We don't tell our clients to do anything we haven't done unless we really haven't done it, and then we tell our clients, okay, we haven't done this, but we think you should do it. That's
rare.
It's rare.
It does happen, but it's rare.
And now that we've done radio ads, we're rocking.
There you go.
Cool. Yeah, I'm still thinking about starting my online radio station. It's been put on hold because I'm a bit busy doing other things, but yeah, I'm thinking about starting one next year.
It's a challenge. I'll tell you, we had this idea for starting our own publishing company, and the thought was we're only going to work with first-time authors of business books, and it was good. The idea was, if you needed some help in contracts, you'd pull the contract book off the shelf, or, so it was going to be 20, 30 different books. And that would lead to seminars, and that would lead, there's a whole plan. Turns out starting a publishing company is really time intensive, and there's a lot of expense that goes with it.
And really
as
would
investment.
have taken us away from coaching.
So we have it's this wonderful idea, and someday, I keep telling people, if somebody wants to do this, I'll just hand you the idea and you can run with it. But it's a lot of work. So in doing your own radio channel, just know there's a lot of work.
Kudos to you.
Hey, look, Linda's here.
Hello, everyone. How are we?
Awesome.
Better now that you're here.
Oh, that makes my morning. I've been watching you guys in the background while I've been trying to do some work. Hey, Rose, are you happy if I share this with BBB?
Yes.
I figure I might just tell everyone to pop on over. What do you reckon?
That's a good plan.
Beautiful.
Did you know they sound funny?
No, I think they sound great.
No, you guys sound funny to us. I spent this morning with Canadians, so I say the same.
Should we talk a little bit? No, see, I can't do it. It takes me too long to get into it.
You've got to talk faster, guys. That's what I keep hearing.
Wow.
Well, Hank and Sharyn, thank you so much for filling in the extra time for me.
Absolutely.
I love being with you anyway, because you're always so informative and you've got heaps to share. And I love Hank because he's just funny.
Reach out anytime, Rose. Happy to fill in.
Yeah, and I still love late night, whatever it is. I like.
Yes, it's every night on Facebook. Okay, here's the thing. It's now been 10 years. Every night at 8:30 p.m. roughly Eastern time, US time, I have a question of the day on my Facebook page. the reason I do that, folks, it's not just for the fun of it.
Although it is fun.
It's to generate responses on my Facebook page and increase the number of people that are following it, so that when we actually post something that has to do with business, more people see it, because Facebook says, oh, Hank Yuloff's Facebook page is busy. I guess we're going to show it to more people. So there's always a business reason behind it.
Yeah,
And
but I
all
love
of y'all
the
can do that
they're
too.
funny.
All right.
You
Thanks for
take
having us
care.
on.
We'll talk soon. Thank you so much for
Can't
joining me
wait.
today.
Love you. Love you
Gladly.
big time. Thank you for doing this
you.
for all of your listeners. It just shows you are a total giver, and we would gladly help you give.
Thank you so much. Talk soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
Bye, Linda.
Bye.